So excited to go on the road 2 times in a row now and win on the road. It's hard to win. It doesn't matter where you go. It's hard to win and on the road, and especially with quality teams and obviously Auburn and the SEC and those things. And the thing about Auburn, they fought to the finish and obviously scored right there at the end of the game and those things. But I'm really proud of our kids, how they competed. Really, especially proud of winning the third quarter. I think that was something that we haven't done, and we went out and I think we won it 14-0. And basically at that point, I'm not saying the game was over, but we were in control of the football game. And we had a lot of good individual performances, but I'm really proud of the football team. I thought our defense got more stops than they had in the past, and offense finally got going, and we were able to have a comfortable win. So with that, I'll answer whatever you need.
Sam, it looked like KJ showed today that he does lift weights,
Yeah.
especially on that touchdown. The first one.
Yeah.
Second.
Yeah. I mean, he just extends plays when it's almost like there's no way that he can, you know what I mean? And he's just so big that they can't get him down and strong. And that was a big play in the game. But I'm really proud of him. He's taken over the leadership of the team more and more each week. And he had a heck of a game. Takes care of the ball.
They kicked that field goal right before half. It seemed to have momentum.
Yeah.
So how did you win the third quarter? What did y'all do?
Well, our defense stepped up, got them in manageable yards. That I guess coming out of the third quarter, they had a couple of third downs that I thought maybe we'll get off the field, and we weren't able to. And then we got a stop, and then the offense went right down and scored, and then we got another one, and the offense went right down and scored. So we had made a big emphasis on that at practice. I don't know, if that helps us or not, but we certainly think it does. And we just won the third quarter. And with the way that we flex inside and different things, but we challenged them at halftime. That's what has to happen. And fortunately, it happened.
First half, you have 70 rushing yards, it's kind of low by your own standards. In the second half, you have 220.
Yeah.
So more than triple. What was the difference?
I think we wore them down, to be honest with you. Our guys are in great shape up front. They play well together. Once they figure out exactly what guys are doing against them, and we went back to bread and butter. We went back to inside outside zone, ran a little bit of counter against them, but we went what we do, and our backs got lathered up a little bit and seemed to break a few more tackles. And of course, you always have that one explosive, Rocket. It seems like every week he has one of those that takes off on, and he had one of those again today.
He's over 1,000 yards now.
Yeah, and that's something. Congratulations to him. I wish I should have said something about that so I could compliment him and the offensive line, well, the whole team. But that's awesome.
Was he kind of just gassed in the second quarter, or why didn't he get this much action in the quarter?
Well, simply because we wanted to play all three guys, and AJ to me is a really good running back, and it was just a rotation deal, to be honest with you.
This is the program's first win here in 10 years.
Yeah,
And breaks a 6-game losing streak to them. How meaningful is that?
means everything. Auburn's a good football program. I'm sorry. Did you have anything about it? I'm sorry. Means everything. I mean, to beat Auburn, they're Auburn. I mean, they're a good football team. Last time we beat them was, I believe, 15 in overtime. It was my last year at Arkansas. But other teams I know they haven't won as many games as they had in the past, but teams close, and things, and had some good games with some good football programs. And to come in here, it means everything. It means a lot. I think now we've beaten every West team since I've been here besides Bama. And so we need to get that one off. We need to do that.
He says he's going to run back. We see Dominic Johnson.
Yeah, I'd rather talk about that, maybe Monday. If you would, we found out he's injured and, I'd rather talk about maybe Monday if you don't mind. Just found out, on Thursday after practice.
You mentioned the defense in your statement, but what did you see from them by week and in this Auburn prep week that's really been able to have them take this step?
Well, we got 4 guys back,
Yeah.
that helps. Got a healthy Brainy and then, Jaden Johnson, and we got, Kyrie and Slusher, guys we haven't had. It makes it easier to sub, when your subs aren't, starting the entire game. And then what happens, like Mississippi State, 2 of those guys get hurt, and then you're playing with inexperience. I think that's part of it. I think our good players played well. I thought our D line did some things, as far as moving Ashford, and getting him moving a little bit. But I think overall, I think we got healthy. To be perfectly honest with you, and I know people look at that as an excuse. I'm not trying to make any excuses. I'm just telling the truth. We got healthy, and we should have a better team when we're healthy.
Just last week over 500 yards, 600 yards against BYU 2 weeks ago. Today, 520 total. Pretty balanced pass 234, rush 286. Got to be happy with where the offense.
Man, and it's not one guy. I know Rockets, making a lot of yards and all that, but you've got 3 or 4 receivers making plays. You got a back or 2, KJ, the offensive line, Trey, Knox. I mean, you got a lot of weapons in there, and we're not afraid to use any of them. And I think that's whoever's having that game. It doesn't necessarily have to be just him. Like Matt, I think Matt caught 3 or 4 passes today, one quite long, maybe 60-some yards, but each guy's kind of stepping up, and we believe in them all. And more importantly, KJ believes in them, and the offensive line has been playing well. So that once the O line plays well and you have talent around them, you can get some yards, score some points, which I think was 50-some last week and 41 today.
Sam, I know how frustrating that Mississippi State loss was, many back-to-back road wins. You feel like the season's kind of back on track?
I hope so. We're 5-3 where we were 5-3 last year, and the difference is, obviously different opponents. And the other thing is we have 3 of our next 4 games at home, and our fans will be rocking that place, and they will. Next week being homecoming, and we'll have an opportunity to have a great week, and that would give us opportunity to get bowl eligible, and that's a big deal. And then as the year keeps going on, depends on what bowl you get to go to, but at least you're eligible if we could be good enough to beat a really fine Liberty team.
You guys are backed up to the 6-yard line, still a game, and Rocket goes 70.
That's so awesome.
That play and
Wow, I loved it, is what happened. I didn't see him squirt through there, but once he got past everybody, there's a foot race between him and I think Papo, and I think Papo got him down eventually, but it was a big play for us. I mean, because early in the second quarter, maybe first quarter, we couldn't get out of there, and we had to punt it out of there, and that was the first quarter, punted it short, maybe to the 50-yard line or something, and they took advantage of it. So for us to, the goal there is 2 first downs, to move the chains and flip the field with a nice punt. But when Rocket win, that was a huge part of the football game.
What do you see on the block?
I think he kicked it low, to be honest with you. I'd like to give credit to a lot of people, but I think he kicked it low, to be honest with you. I'll have to look. I do think we had some good penetration on it, but it was blocked up the middle, I believe, from what I saw, and I think he kicked it low.
You had a direct snap to Dominion for one of your.
Yeah, wasn't that awesome?
Was that something you put in during the bye week?
Yeah.
How did that play?
Yeah, it was exactly what we put in the bye week. And they're faking an option play off of it and snapping it to R-Dub, and man, it worked like a charm. We needed it. It was 3rd down, 3rd and goal. And yes, that was a bye week thought of KBs and them guys.
And go off of that, Rashad Dominion getting the ball, you're in the red zone when it matters.
Yeah.
I mean, what does that say about?
Well, we trust him. You know, he's a really good player, mature kid, does everything that we ask him to, works hard. And he can make it miss, you know, and he's tough. I like him. I think he has a great future here, but we trust him.
You know, Coach, all wins are precious. Is the BYU win, is this one different than 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, because it's an SEC, it's an SEC win. And so no disrespect, but it means more, you know, it gets us up. And now we've got 2 SEC wins, you know, we're 2 and 3, I think, right now. And it just means, it means more. Finish where you know, you want to see where you fall in the league and you know, it helps in recruiting, all kinds of different things. But yes, coming into a place that holds 90,000 people or 197 or whatever it is, able to win against a good team. Yeah, it means a lot. Sure does.
I'm sure you always celebrate, you know, coming off the field after win, see the fans, you look really, really happy, you know, giving them a fist, all that.
Yeah.
So how was that? What was that feel?
Relief. I mean, you know, we have the greatest job in the world, but about Friday night at 8:00 p.m. to the time they kick it off, it's horrible. You're stressed, you're worried, you're concerned about every this, every that, whatever's going on. It's the greatest job and it's the greatest feeling you'll ever feel, but it happens every week. Sometimes it's worse than others. Today, I felt like we were ready, we were prepared, and I felt like we had the best team, and I felt like we should win. And that's no disrespect to anybody, to Auburn or anybody, but I felt like we had the best team and we should win, and certainly we did.
One more, they hit that field goal, got blocked at 17-16, they got some more, and then you guys go down and score, get some more separation. In retrospect, how big a play was it?
Right, it was big, you know, and I think there was maybe a sack before that. I believe there was. Maybe it was Slusher or somebody, and that really basically, I mean, it's a long field goal. And he had to drive it. It was 50 something, I think. And but that was a big, and we went down and scored, big part of the game.
Does it feel pretty much a relief to have this month straight of road games over with and behind you?
Yeah, it hadn't been a long time. You know, we knew it. You know, it's on paper before the season starts, and you're like everybody else. You go, oh, you know, and oh well, we'll get back home. You go, oh well, we didn't. It is what it is. So you might think about the roads that we're on the road, but you're going, hey, we got 3 at home. Now, that doesn't mean you're going to win all of them, but you got a better chance at home than you do on the road. And so we're really excited to be back home.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
Thanks, everybody. Appreciate y'all.